to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Oh, welcome in. Wednesday, November 19th. Jason Moore is here. I'm Andy Holloway. Two-man band today. Great show for you.
Even better show.
I didn't want to say it.
Right. Well, it's not because Mike's not here. It's because the
Oh.
bear is here.
Right. That's what it is.
Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. What's up, my best friend?
What's going on? Lot to get into. We got football coming up soon tomorrow. And you know who's playing in that game?
I think some teams.
Keon Coleman. He's back.
Oh, did
baby.
he get the they didn't do the one drive thing with him. They did the one game.
They did the one game.
The full one game.
And the one drive thing, it worked so well for
Is that for
CD.
Keon?
Yeah.
That's Keon.
The way Jason said his name reminded me of that.
I mean, you saw the evidence of what a small suspension, a little benching did for CD.
Right.
I mean, now.
What can a whole game do?
Yeah. I mean, Keon's going off.
We got word this morning that against all odds and all opposition, Shedeur Sanders will be starting for the Browns.
And all coaches' decisions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're like
taken out of his hands.
They actually tried, from what I understand, one of the janitors, they tried
They gave
to
him a workout?
tried to suit him up, but
Just couldn't sling it.
Couldn't sling it like Shedeur. So Shedeur Sanders getting the start. We got that word moments ago.
And gonna practice with some of the first team.
Yeah,
for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of, because the internet is stupid, there's been a lot of controversy about whether backups get first-team reps or not. And you know, James Jones came out yesterday, said every single practice with Brett Favre, last few snaps would go to Aaron Rodgers because you want to know that they can do it if they need to come in because injuries happen.
Yeah, and I would understand the argument of like, well, but that was Aaron Rodgers. He was a first-round pick. Like, they're wanting to get him some snaps. They know he's the future. But also the counter-argument is it was Brett Favre. You had Brett Favre that you're taking first snaps away from, not Dylan Gabriel.
Or as you call him, Gillen Gabriel.
Gillen Gabriel. I black out when I say his name now.
No,
I
it's
have
fine.
no idea.
You've
what
got your Ariana Grande names. You got your Gillen Gabriels. The Browns are playing the Raiders. Speaking of the Raiders, we talked.
Oh, we were very kind about them.
Yeah, we talked about them a lot yesterday, kind of ranted about what's going on in Las Vegas. And, you know, I mentioned that if we had done that about the Bears, who are, congrats, 7-3, atop your division.
Winning close, unwinnable
games.
Give
them a round of applause.
Yeah, baby, go Bears.
We don't know how long that's going to last. But when you got the bear in the house.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations to Bears fans. They'll still be mad at this. But the Raiders fans didn't see a lot of vitriol coming back at us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our Cardinal sentiments where it's they hate that team. We had somebody write in about it.
Hi, guys. This is Ozzy from Anaheim. Bonjour. Just want to say that I heard you guys talk about the Raiders, and as a Raiders fan, we know it totally sucks. It's like waiting to get ice cream, and somebody shows a scoop of poop on your ice cream cone when you want an ice cream. Or it's kind of like being traffic, and you never get out of traffic. It's just one accident after another, after another. Last year, you think, oh, the accident's Josh McDaniels. We just got to get past that. Oh, now the accident's Ed O'Connell. He's the quarterback. We need to get past that. It never ends. You're in traffic forever. All right. Love the show. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
One accident after another. It's some teams feel that way.
I like the poop in the ice cream cone.
I thought you would.
Metaphor.
Yeah, no, that's spot on. But Raiders fans mostly just agreeing and hating their team the way that we hate our team most of the time. So moving on from that, we have a new leader in the Megalo Bowl every Wednesday. We've been giving you the Megalo Bowl leader. It is now M. Taylor 97.
Meow?
Meow.
That could be Mason Taylor.
That might be the actual tight end. He's not doing a lot these days. Probably on his phone during the route, knowing the ball's not coming his way. So congrats, M. Taylor 97. We have weekly rankings for the upcoming, with 3 weeks left until the fantasy playoffs. So go to the website, thefantasyfootballers.com. start-sit tool.
This is a really fun time of year. When you've got 3 weeks left before the playoffs, you can actually go start looking at your league and look at seeding, look at other people's schedules. Like, okay, I've got to overcome these two guys. Now, my next 3 weeks is against, this is easy, that's hard. Go look at their schedule, too. You can actually start having a feel for what you need to do, which weeks matter the most.
I mean, it's a good time we did waivers yesterday. We didn't say this on yesterday's show, but you need more than one defense on your team.
Yep.
Most likely. I mean, plan your schedule out. Make sure you have every small advantage against your opponents when it's time to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing Mike in Mike's off here gallivanting in Disneyland while we have this matchup in both of our main leagues in League of Record.
You play in both leagues?
Yes, League of Record and the main Dynasty League. Both leagues.
That's fun.
We have two of the best teams. Both leagues, Mike might have the best team, and so we're going head to head in both of those, and he leaves like the coward he is. But
maybe he's just so cozy with his roster.
Coward or chill, one of the two. But he's got to play Flacco, and he's got to play Flacco without Jamar Chase. And I'm looking at that matchup, and I almost dropped Brock Purdy, and I was like, I don't think I want to drop him and then have him play him against me and have that be.
Has that ever happened to you before?
Joik Bell, you son of a. I mean, no, that one hurt. That one hurt back in the day.
Yeah. So no, it is that time of year. You can look at those matchups. We have the most data we've ever had, so you know really how. Like all of our Stream Finder tool and the Strength of Schedule tool, you can break those down into like the last 5 weeks, the last 8 weeks. You can look at it in a smaller window. Defenses like Baltimore getting better over time versus the whole year. You kind of can make the most informed decisions, right? We don't control what happens on the field. We don't know what happens with the weather. We don't know what happens with injuries. But you're just trying to – this show is built around putting all of the information out there and then letting you make your best decision to give you the best odds to win every week, and that's – what we're going to try to do today. We got mailbag today. We got backup options. We've got news to catch you up on. So we'll get it started, Jay.
Backup options presented by Progressive Insurance.
Well, every week after waivers run, we remind you to drop it like it's hot, which means take a look at the waiver wire, see who players are letting go of, and make sure that they didn't let somebody spicy drop to the waiver wire. We are looking today at some backup options, right? You missed the guy you wanted, so we're going to give you some names that you can chase. I also want to mention, Jason, the most dropped players on Sleeper over the last 24 hours, and whether you agree with sending them to the waiver wire.
Sure.
This one surprises me, but I also understand why it's happening. Joe Flacco is one of the most dropped players.
I do get it. I don't know if you really want to start him without Chase, and then how soon before Burrow is back. It's Baltimore next week. I would make the change. I mean, I just thought Mike would be better suited with Purdy. So yeah,
you might.
If there's a better quarterback, that's why I would drop Joe Flacco. I'm not just dropping him.
And then Mariota and Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers with the hand injury, not an every week start anyways.
Yeah,
Mariota, same story.
Yeah.
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who is now basically a second, third string running back who's going to stay there, and it's on a bye week, so I get it.
I would be fine moving on from him if there's a better running back available.
Kamani Vidal going into the bye week off of the injury in a bad week with Hampton waiting in the wings. I understand it. I probably wouldn't drop him.
I wouldn't do that. The next one, Rachaad White, I don't think I would do that one either. I realize he got overtaken by Sean Tucker and Bucky's coming back, but Bucky's had such a weird injury. I don't think it's really solid. I would still hold on to him.
Parker Washington at wide receiver. Probably the biggest name that I'm seeing there. I would still hold on to him personally.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I think when you drop Parker after a bad game, you fear that he Cinderella pumpkined. You know, he's back into the pumpkin.
Right. He Travis Fulghamed and he's back.
It hit midnight, and he is who we knew he was. You know, it's not like Parker Washington's a fine player.
I think he's going to get plenty of targets with no Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr., who knows?
Yeah.
And this last week they destroyed on both sides of the ball. It was a running game, Tootin, Etienne. I'm not that. I think Parker's a flexible guy personally. Zach Ertz, Cade Otton, Dawson Knox. We just got word that Dalton Kincaid's going to be out another week. It's Buffalo, Houston on Thursday.
Yeah, not a great matchup for the Bills. Like another player that was very commonly dropped was Keon Coleman, and
I must have felt good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he was a healthy scratch.
On.
But I still see an avenue where he could be a plugged-in starter this week. No, with
No.
the Dalton Kincaid.
No,
All right.
not against Houston.
Yeah,
I don't want to mess around with.
they're a top D against pretty much every position.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he could catch a touchdown, but that's everybody. All right, backup options, names that we didn't necessarily bring up yesterday you should pay attention to. I'm going to say, we know Joe Flacco likes to sling it. No Jamar Chase. That suspension has been upheld. Andre Yoshivas for Cincinnati. You guys brought up Fant yesterday, I think.
Yep.
Yoshivas is a very capable receiver. When you have an opportunity to step in, if you can give him more targets, he's only had one game without Jamar Chase in his career. He saw 8 targets in that one, and Flacco's averaging 43 passing attempts.
Yeah, it feels like a Michael Wilson situation where it's
Yeah.
like Joe Flacco's going to throw for a lot of yards and have a lot of attempts. The matchup against New England is not some super scary matchup, so the ball will have to go more than just T. Higgins. I picked up Yoshivas in a league, and I'm starting him. He was replacing Tyler Lockett for me this week.
Yep.
My backup options, I've got 2 of them. Neither are probably playing, so it's a little bit hard, which is why they're getting dropped everywhere.
Well, one definitely isn't.
One definitely isn't. Quentin Johnston. He's going on to bye. He's got a goose in 2 of his last 4 weeks. I get it, man. Punt him off the bridge. The Chargers just got shellacked by the Jaguars. Their offensive line is toast, and the vibes aren't great. Here's the thing, though. Great franchises, and the Chargers have not been one historically. But you look at what happened with Baltimore. Baltimore was, 1-5? The wheels were falling off. The vibes weren't great. Lamar was injured. Their entire defense was injured. They got to that bye week, and they're a good franchise with a Harbaugh-led coach, with belief in themselves.
Harbaugh leads himself?
He is a
Harbaugh-led coach is what you said.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what you meant.
No, I think it is, but I think
he's a Harbaugh-led coach.
I
mean, I guess technically,
right?
Okay.
Anyways, their coach is a Harbaugh who leads them. And
I mean, they've won 4 of 5 before last week. You just throw that one out. I'm with you. They're a great team.
But their offensive line struggles. They can't just patchwork things when they're missing guys in the middle of a run of games, but give them this little break and see the team kind of heal up and come back after the bye strong. Quentin Johnston is tied for 6th right now in receiving touchdowns in the league. He's top 30 in pretty much all the yards, receptions, and so I think he is a good enough player where I'm not getting rid of him, and he's the type of player where we're starting Parker Washingtons, we're starting Yoshivas's off the bench in certain weeks. I would still rather have Quentin Johnston active.
I would too. Look, there are some players that when they're disappointments for such a long period of time, like Quentin Johnston was, the second they have a bad week or a bad couple weeks, we all jump ship. We're all like, yeah, that's what I thought. He sucks. I mean, what is it? There was a point in this season where he was one of the best receivers in the game. You could watch the tape. It wasn't
an accident.
No, you could watch the tape. He was coming back to the quarterback. Look, it happens. Their offensive line is abysmal. He is a player that does benefit from
more time. More time in the pocket.
Field.
Let the fields develop the deeper routes. I mean, right now it's like the 3-step drop, get it to Ladd. If they're able to come out of the bye week and heal up, I think brighter days are ahead for Quentin Johnston.
And your other name is the one that I think people should definitely jump on.
Yes. So Darius Slayton missed this last game with a hamstring issue. Wink. Okay. Got engaged this week. Oh, my hammy.
Oh, is that really what happened?
Yeah,
he got engaged this week.
He got engaged this week.
So
Congratulations.
maybe he went down on one knee on accident because of the hamstring.
Just went down too quick to that knee.
And then she assumed,
right.
And it was really the hammy.
So, but he is dealing with the hamstring issue. Also, congratulations on your engagement. But Darius Slayton is he's perfect for Jameis, and I think he's perfect for Jackson Dart too.
Well, Dart got a promising report today.
Yeah, so I'm just saying either way, it's not Russ. And that's what's important here.
Yeah. So,
so Darius Slayton, great upcoming schedule too.
That was Backup Option, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Let's talk news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
Well, Jamar Chase's suspension was upheld. We have news. Mike Tomlin saying he's optimistic about Jaylen Warren playing in Week 12, but will be limited in practice early in the week. It's big news if you wanted to take your shot on Kenny Gainwell, who I think everybody would start if Warren was out.
Yes, for sure.
Aaron Rodgers does not need surgery on his wrist. He is not expected to practice to start the week, but is planning on playing against Chicago.
He's pushing to play. I don't know if we can plan for that yet.
What a big game for Chicago. If they could somehow beat Pittsburgh this week and go to, 8-3 atop the division?
I think people are asking the question right now is like, okay, the Chicago Bears are leading the division, and all three of us in the divisional round, we picked Chicago to finish last because this is a brutal division. The Vikings are supposed to be great. They're J.J. McCarthy's not doing very good.
I watched J.J. McCarthy film.
Yeah, it's not good, man.
But luckily I didn't eat before. But go on.
And the Lions are legitimately awesome. The Packers are great. So the question is like, will the Bears make the playoffs? They don't have 3 weeks left. They've got we've got fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, they got.
It's a long time left, and I think the answer to that question comes this week. If they win this game, I think they're going to have the lead and the juice where they make it. If they lose this one, it's going to be tough sledding.
All right. Yeah, I get it. It's a big game for them. Shedeur will start against the Raiders. That's not the worst opponent to go out there and.
Stefanski said as he threw his clipboard to the ground.
He'll get a week of practice. Maybe he won't get any first-team reps this week.
Right.
Wouldn't that really send a message? No competitive advantage here for him either. I think that's on purpose, right? Now, Shedeur will get the start, and look, I'm excited. I want to just see what happens.
At least they play the Raiders. I mean, I will say Max Crosby should have a field day. Shedeur Sanders' biggest problem on film was always like
holding on to the ball.
Just the pocket. He never steps up in a pocket, ever. He will scramble and run and step through and run, but he will just keep backing up, and he's going to back up into long, deep sacks from Mason Crosby.
Yeah, buddy. Yep. Jackson Dart expected to return to practice today, right? That's what's going to happen.
Good.
Mike McDonald. This is. Mike's not here to absorb it. Everything's going Mike. He's in Disneyland.
I know. It's really.
Was this all improv after Travion and?
Yeah, he's like.
His
wife said,
"How do you get happier right now?"
Yeah, it was like, "What are you going to do?"
Yeah.
He said, "I'm going to Disneyland."
Yeah,
it was the classic.
Well, here's the next bit of Disneyland news for Mike. Mike McDonald said Kenneth Walker is, quote, showing that he's earning more opportunities to get the ball. Because he ran well.
Yeah, he is the better running back, and so if they get him more work, there's more opportunities and chances for him to break one off. It's very similar to Travion Henderson, where his first breakout game a couple weeks ago, Mike was making the point. It's like most of his carries didn't go for a lot of yards, but he ended up with almost 2 huge breakaway touchdown runs because you kept giving him opportunities, and that's the same type of player Kenneth Walker is.
We had the most opportunities for Walker since week 4 last week. We had the most receptions since week 1 last week for Walker, and the snap count's still 51%, but hey, I'll take that over the 44 and the 35 and other stuff that we were getting, maybe some promising opportunities ahead. And that's it for news and notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. We'll take a break. We'll hit the preview.
Thursday Night Breakdown.
The Buffalo Bills at 7-3 take on the Houston Texans, Jason, who are 5-5 thanks to Davis Mills' leadership and viewing angle. Up above the pocket.
Yeah, 30,000-foot view.
Buffalo minus 5.5 on the road, over under 43.5. Frankly, I feel like this game, I would probably take the under. And I think we might be in short week. Thursday night games have been, we've had a 10-7 Thursday night game in recent history that we expected a lot of. Buffalo, Houston, the Houston defense at home, I think that makes a big difference. Houston is fighting desperately to stay in the AFC playoff picture. Buffalo, the big win over Tampa last week, but Houston's won 3 of 4. Their defense is number 1 in yards per game allowed, number 1 in points per game allowed.
They're number 1 against fantasy quarterbacks, which Josh Allen is the entire team for the Bills on offense.
I don't know. Do you agree?
Well, it depends on which Bills show up here, because I went into last week talking about how I'm not sure that the Bills are as great as we think, and then they went out and put 44 points up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I heard you.
But the week prior to that, they lost to the Miami Dolphins, and they scored 13 points. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons and scored 14 points. It hasn't been a beautiful season for them.
No, it's not been cruise control.
Yeah, so the Atlanta game and the Miami game, both of those were on the road. The Tampa Bay game where they were awesome, the Kansas City game where they won against the Chiefs, both of those were at home. So this game being in Houston, to me, it makes an impact. I mean, it's not as easy, it's not as black and white as that, but for a team that has been really good sometimes, really questionable sometimes, and it's all been at home versus on the road, and now they're playing a great defense on the road, it could be tough sledding. And honestly, their best pass catcher this season has been Dalton Kincaid.
Who's out.
And he's not going to play. So, yeah, I can see this game hitting the under and being like, it's kind of ugly.
Yeah, and I definitely see Davis Mills in that offense struggling against Buffalo. What's wild? Like, I'm looking at the playoff picture, right? Number 1 seed's Denver. Number 2 seed's New England, leading the division. Number 3 is Indianapolis. Do you think those 3 teams, or let's just go to 4.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Let's put Pittsburgh
100%.
at 4. Do you think those teams want to play Kansas City or Buffalo?
No.
That just seems like you are setting.
The Ravens.
Or the Ravens.
I mean,
you'll be at home. You'll be at home for your one game.
The AFC was so much more dominant than the NFC coming into this season, because it just seemed like the NFC is like, okay, you got to maybe the Eagles will be really good. Maybe the Lions will do it again. But on the AFC, I mean, you've got
Baltimore's guaranteed, Buffalo's guaranteed, Kansas City's
those
guaranteed.
3 teams are. We know we don't know the order 1, 2, and 3 seed, but they are the top 3 seeds, and now none of them are in the top 4.
Yeah, Kansas City, Baltimore out of the playoffs right now.
Crazy.
So no, if I was New England coming off a real sweet redemption season with Drake May, and I'm at home and I have to face Kansas City or Baltimore or Buffalo, I would feel pretty bad about that.
You're gonna want that bye.
You want that 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. You don't want to get bounced. But it's from a fantasy perspective, it's actually pretty simple, because you're not benching Allen or Cook no matter what you think about the defensive situation.
Correct. And you're not starting anyone else.
No, and then on the other side, Nico is a lock, and then you could look at what he marks and look at the utilization and probably start him and say, look, Sean Tucker succeeded against this Buffalo defense last week. Marks is getting enough work, can catch the ball. To me, I wouldn't sit him down. I almost said put him down. I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him down. That's illegal.
Right.
Even with
we don't support that.
Yeah, no, not. We're anti-murder podcast.
We
always
have
been,
always
will be.
Doesn't matter.
I went and I rewatched every Woody Marks attempt of the last 2 weeks this week, and I think he is slightly above average. The problem was that the defense is not concerned with this passing game very much, and so there weren't a lot of holes open up for him. Almost everything was an inside run, and it was just kind of ho-hum. I think you can start him. I think he gets more than 15 carries in this game. I'm just doubtful that anything great happens.
He's above the Bam Knight tier, the Michael Carter tier. He's above the Tajay Spears tier.
Yes.
Okay. So otherwise, I mean, you could definitely shoot your shot, I think, with Dalton Schultz, because he's been top 10 in 4 or 5 weeks. If you're playing roulette at tight end, you are facing a Buffalo defense that has been on the year.
They're awesome. They depending on which metrics you're looking at, they don't give up a lot of points to tight end. So I don't love Dalton Schultz in this. And there are some guys that are on
like
most
you play
of
Juwan
waivers.
Johnson.
I would definitely play Juwan Johnson over him. And the other name I'll throw out,
Noah Fant?
my start of the week. Yeah, I would play Noah Fant. I would play Hunter Henry, who has an awesome matchup.
My start of the week.
He's my start of the week.
I'm just kidding.
He's already in there, bro. You can't have him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want him. He's yours.
Good.
But yeah, it should be. Maybe we'll get pleasantly surprised, right? We think we're gonna have a shootout with Denver, and that they get shut down by the Raiders. So maybe we'll get some excitement. Obviously, Nico Collins can get some stuff done in the passing game against Buffalo, and maybe Woody Marks gets it going. Buffalo they're giving up 32 fantasy points to the running back position a game over the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's very run funnel Ole defense right there.
Yeah.
Anything else from this game you want to talk about? Any other players?
Please no.
Please no. Yeah, you're not messing with Shakir, who's also not practicing after a negative 3-yard game. And Tyrell Shavers not making
getting your razor out, going Shavers.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, my dynasty team probably should. He's probably out there. But yeah, I'm not taking a shot on that. So, you ready? Who's doing the mailbag drop today?
Oh,
who deserves it from the Deucers?
The Deucers. We know who deserves it from the Deucers.
Do we?
Yeah, it's the Falcon. I mean, come
why?
on.
Why? Oh, because it'd be the best.
Yeah, he's been sick, and this is how you get better.
Clear your throat.
Yeah, deep voice.
All right, why not? He loves it.
All right,
he's clear. Oh, you ready over there? Here we go.
I think so.
It's gonna be bad.
Mailbag. Presented by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV.
I think you played it a little safe.
Try not to yell.
But, you know, you didn't
were
break any
still
equipment.
Very loud. The beginning was worse than the end.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that good.
No.
But good job. I'm
proud of you. It wasn't
proud
dangerous.
No.
Into the mailbag we go. If you have a question for the show, go to the website, thefantasyfootballers.com. Click that submit a question button. You can also dial our voicemail hotline, 302-464-TFFB.
Falcon's going to take off every Wednesday show that Mike misses forever. It's like, oh, I'm sick. I'm on the toilet, guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, he stepped up. We're good. We got you got questions. We got answers for you, trying to get you ready for the upcoming Week 12 matchups. We got some voicemails to jump into. No more Raider fans. No Raider fans defending the team, by the way. We never got any of those voicemails. But let's jump in here.
Hey, guys. John from Chicago calling in. Love the show. With the latest explosion that Jameson Williams has had lately here in the season, how are we seeing him moving forward and moving into the playoffs as far as receiver ranking? Thanks.
He's a high upside, volatile player. So I tried to trade for him. It wasn't like I went hard, but I made an offer for him from you, and you said no.
Was it a draft pick? I don't even remember the offer.
It ended up, it was, I don't remember the exact offer. We ended up making a trade for Parker Washington instead. But
yeah, I mean, J-Mo is, they have the highest implied point total of the week at 30 points this week.
And
Sam Laporte is out.
Yeah.
So, Goff has got a great opportunity as a streaming quarterback this week.
They have games left this season against the Giants, the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Bears, like some really good passing high over-under type of matchups that you would expect. So is he going to be great every single week from here on out? No, of course not. He's not that type of player. Will he continue having big performances and right this second seem like he's going to stay in the Flames? I think so. Where would you put him rest of season, wide receiver?
16.
That was the exact number I
16. had. I think he will be pretty consistent. I actually think he will with what they have at wide receiver without the Laporta checkdowns. I think that you will see more consistency from him. And you've seen, over the last 5 weeks, he's on pace for almost 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. That's not a small sample, right? That's
the Laporta injury makes a huge deal. It takes another mouth to feed away and leaves more to the pie, but the back injury, he went on IR, so he's missing 4 games. But the way they were talking about that was that they hope they get him back, for the playoff run. So I think for fantasy football purposes, J-Mo will be without Laporta for pretty much the rest of the fantasy season.
And I know it was a really rough start. They were not utilizing him. They have different play calls. Do you know what he is the fantasy wide receiver right now on the year? Because it's only been hot for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
What do you think he is?
I would guess like wide receiver 21.
24.
Okay.
But he's in the top 24, and we've got a nice, we've got 12 through 18 to go. We'll see what happens. We were kind of looking over the My Guys this morning, Jason and I, and, does Hampton get back out there? It's pretty hard to pick 9 My Guys that don't have injuries. Hampton's obviously got one. Kittle had one earlier in the year. But with Travion turning it around a little bit, with Pickens now number 2 in the league in yards, these guys look like they could.
Buka.
Yeah, Buka's been great. Chase Brown has come on once Joe Flacco. Like, hopefully these guys pay dividends over the back half of the year. I mean, we're rooting for that, obviously. We have another question from Lino in San Francisco. Hey, footballers, do I start A.J. Brown at Dallas or Jameson Williams against New York?
I'm still going to go A.J. Brown at Dallas. The matchup is too good for A.J. Brown to fail.
You'd like to believe that for sure. And Dallas's defense has made some improvements over recent weeks, but yeah, I would probably still play A.J. Brown there. I think both will be good. J-Mo or Davonte Adams, similar question. Adams with the 1-1-1 last week. They played Tampa Bay. J-Mo with the matchup against the Giants.
Yeah, I like Jameson Williams, but I'm not going to put him up to that tier yet.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that either. Another voicemail question.
I don't like this one.
Hey, ballers. I was wondering, George Pickens or Rome Odunze? Thanks.
Well, Pickens has the Philadelphia matchup, which
That's
is the
what
only.
I hate.
Like, if it wasn't Philly.
No. This is an easy
Pickens
question.
every week.
Pickens every week over Odunze. Pickens has just been too good all year. But I'm worried. Like, I put in my – it was funny because I almost dropped Brock Purdy, and I've got the Dak CD stack. And I swapped Dak. I put Purdy in because I feel like there's a range of outcomes here. Dak's had a couple of really, really bad games this season.
Well, it's ironic because the only game of the entire year where Pickens struggled was Philly.
Yeah, I mean,
he was 3 for 30 against Philly. You'd like to believe, though, that the more attention is still going to be on the CD side.
Yeah, I think they can give attention everywhere. I mean, Philly, their defense is like, it scares me so much.
There's been a handful of defenses over the years where you feel like they get an extra player out there.
Yeah,
like the league's like, no, you can.
They feel like they've got 2. They feel like they've got
on the field.
They've got an extra D lineman and an extra DB. It's not, something doesn't add up. They are so utterly dominant. Now this is a divisional game,
but you're not benching Pickens under any circumstance, are you?
No, not under. It's funny because Pickens is, you could argue, just as good as CeeDee Lamb, right?
Oh yeah,
this season. I mean, obviously,
just flip a coin every week on who has the better game.
Yeah, and you don't ever consider benching CeeDee Lamb. Like, I'm not going to bench CeeDee Lamb, but at the same time, he's playing the same Eagles.
I'm not benching Pickens for like Alec Pierce tier. I'm not benching Pickens for, Tez or something stupid. Pickens needs to be played. It's just whether you like Odunze against Pittsburgh more. I kind of lean Odunze.
I have them back to back in my rankings right now. The wide receiver 18 and 19. Odunze is 1 spot ahead.
Well, speaking of Dak, Jason, Mac writes in off of Instagram, should I start Dak the Plentiful or Matthew MVP Stafford?
Yeah, I would go Stafford against the Buccaneers this week.
Stafford last week, little disappointing on the fantasy front, 130-2. But, man, you realize Matthew Stafford hasn't thrown an interception since week 3?
He's been playing
27-2 on
honestly,
the touchdown to interception ratio.
The Rams, I think, are they're more in the elite tier of teams than they usually get credit for.
Yeah, this year I would, or in this week, I would play Matthew Stafford. Another Dak question: do you trust Dak against Philly or Jacoby Brissett against Jacksonville, who's at home?
I've got Brissett
that's
3 spots higher.
I was going to say Brissett is pretty easy on that one for me.
Brissett has not yet not been a top 12 quarterback. He's at home.
Jacksonville gives up a ton to quarterbacks.
Yeah, don't know if we'll have Marvin Harrison back or not, but he didn't need it last week.
Yeah, and then Al Borland following up with his own question, maybe a little personal question over here.
A friend asked me this question.
Oh, a friend.
Oh, yeah, just a buddy.
It really isn't asking for a friend situation.
Okay.
Okay.
What is Jeremy's name? No. What's the question?
Dak, do you have the stones to play Goff, even if you watched him play last week against Philly?
Over Dak?
Over Dak this week?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'd play Goff.
Yeah, tell your friend.
Tell your friend.
Will do.
I bet he already knows, though. What do you do with Courtland Sutton? It's been a brutal month. This question from Tinaika on Instagram. Wide receiver 37-30, 58-32. These are not stat lines we're proud of. 3 for 24, 4 for 59, one score in 4 weeks.
His pace on the last month of football would be 51 receptions for 765 yards and 4 touchdowns on a season. So it's been tremendously bad. However, he started the season as the clear number 1 for this team. I think their offense did better.
It feels like he's not anymore.
No, it does. He's not. He's not leading them in targets. He's not leading them in yards. And really, if you say who's the number 1 wide receiver on a team, to me it's always targets. Who's the most targeted guy? And that's Troy Franklin right now. However, it shouldn't be. I love Franklin, but Courtland Sutton is a better football player.
Let me kind of read. I'm looking last year. So we talked about this in the offseason. 8 touchdowns for Courtland Sutton last year. The yardage wasn't great. 1,081 yards is that's not special. Right? That's
for Sutton.
That's 60 yards a game.
Yeah.
So you look at the games where he scored last year, 4 for 53. That's a disaster if he doesn't score, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 for 32 with a touchdown. You have 5 for 55 with a touchdown. He had some yardage games last year, but he was only.
Well, he's had some this year: 118, 81, 99, 87. He's had those games this season.
Like where are you with him? Like we asked the question. Wide receiver 16 was Jameson's answer. Rest of season. So Sutton, I have him lower than that.
I got my number. What's
okay.
I
think 24.
I'm going to say 18. I think he's going to be better. So 2 of the last 4 games, we talk about this 4-game stretch he's been in. It's been so bad even though they're winning the games, they've won all 4. It's been so bad for the Broncos offense. Well, one was against Kansas City Chiefs this last week. That is maybe, I don't know if they're the best defense in the league, but they're one of the top 5. And another was against the Houston Texans in Houston. They're one of the hardest defenses to
I think you get rid of Sutton. I think if your trade deadline's this week, I think you get rid of him. If you go into your fantasy playoffs with Sutton and you count on him in any capacity, I think it's going to be a nightmare. You play Green Bay, Jacksonville, and Kansas City for your fantasy playoffs.
Jacksonville's fine. Green Bay's not the worst.
Jacksonville's still gives up less points to the wide receiver versus the average. Minus 1.6 above expectation. And Green Bay, same thing. But then Kansas City, who you just talked about,
obviously hard, and that's in the championship week.
Like I would absolutely trade Sutton for J-Mo rest of season. I mean, we both had him J-Mo ranked higher, anyways. But I don't have optimism that it turns around very much. Like you said,
I think it will turn around, but the ceiling, Sutton is not a ceiling play. What's the range of outcomes? Like J-Mo's best rest of season is probably like, he just caught fire and he's the wide receiver 6. Yeah. The best for Courtland Sutton is he got a bunch of touchdowns and he's the wide receiver 12.
So you'd do that trade too?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's a little bit different there in Denver too. Like Troy Franklin's role is much larger and more defined. Evan Ingram wasn't on the roster last year. Pat Bryant wasn't on the roster last year. Marvin Mims catches the football. R.G. Harvey catches the football. He wasn't on the roster last year. I just think you can win without Sutton in a way you couldn't win without him last year occasionally.
Yeah, well, they've won 4 games in a row without him.
Fair point. YouTube question. We'll get to it in just a second. One more break. More questions from the Foot Clan.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. And right now on Prize Picks, you can get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. You like Josh Allen this week? How much? More on passing yards, more on rush yards, more on touchdowns? Well, you can do that, but only on Prize Picks. And now they have a new feed tab where you can go follow your friends. You can directly copy their lineups in one click. Maybe you want to follow along with us on the footballers or just someone whose picks you like. You can do that on Prize Picks. We've been having so much fun this season in our head-to-head battles here on the Footballers. And you know what I really like is making the beginning of the game really interesting. Like this past week, I had Javonte Williams. I took the less on in his first 5 rushing attempts. Will he have more or less than 18.5 yards? Bryce Young, will he have more or less than 7 completions? Things like that. It makes the beginning of the game truly an event, extra special, extra fun for your fantasy football weekend. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code FOOTBALLERS to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code FOOTBALLERS to get $50 on lineups after you play that first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right.
Lowe's knows Sundays are for football, so tackle your home improvement projects by Saturday and earn your Sunday with great deals on LG and Bosch appliances. Select Bounty and Swiffer cleaning products and more. Then, once your to-do list is done, get ready to kick back, relax, and enjoy the game. Shop in store or online now and earn your Sunday with help from Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
All right, this question comes in from Lucas. Should I start Aaron Jones at Green Bay? A little homecoming. Or Rome Odunze against Pittsburgh. So flex question, Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers, or Rome Odunze. Aaron Jones, we did see Jordan Mason get into the end zone. Aaron Jones, though, 16 rushing opportunities last week, looked good, 70 yards, 3 catches. Do you feel safer with one of these guys?
I feel safer with with Aaron Jones. His involvement in the last 3 weeks has basically been double-digit fantasy points each of the last 3 weeks. Upside, I think, is probably more on Odunze. He's had the bigger games. This is a pretty close one. Rome is home this week against Pittsburgh. I'm going to go Rome. You have to answer that question.
I'd go Rome.
Okay.
Question from Robert over on X.
Brooks brings up a good point. This is a true revenge game for Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Gets the Packers.
Yep.
Playing in Lambeau again.
I mean, he's had a few of these.
Yeah.
Robert, trying to clinch the bye, considering benching Ashton Jeanty. I think the discouraging 6-for-7 performance is factoring. For Etienne, am I crazy? Etienne has Arizona this week in Arizona. Would you bench Jeanty for Travis Etienne this week?
No, I wouldn't.
So if you had them both on your roster, you'd go right back to Jeanty?
Yes.
Yeah, it was obviously a bad week. Jeanty's had a couple of these recently, mostly top 12 performances, and then you get like a weird game. Like they played Kansas City, and he was 6-for-21 and didn't get the ball in the passing game, and then you play Dallas, and he's 6-for-7.
Yeah, I mean, this last week was so incredibly disappointing for all of the Raiders. But Jeanty he's too good to bench for Etienne, who's not good enough. If Tootin was out, which I haven't heard, have you heard an update on whether?
I think Tootin's okay.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Unless we hear something else.
I know he was injured at the beginning. If Tootin was out, then I would be willing to look at Etienne. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep playing Jeanty.
Eric Freeman wants to know thoughts on FAAB spending as playoffs get closer. Any strategies that you put into place with what your remaining FAAB is and your FAAB spend?
First of all, one strategy is look at the other playoff bound teams and or every other team. But if you've got a lot more than them and you can spend more and, I can make a $12 bid and I'll still have more than everybody, great. If you're really close to people, let them spend a little bit more heading into the playoffs so that entering the playoffs you have some left or you've got more than them. Another tip is I really like going into the playoffs not at $0. Some people have to, push comes to shove, you have to empty your FAAB budget, and you can only make $0 bids by the time you get to championship week.
The best way to do that to conserve FAAB is to be ahead of the game, to pick up the defense a week ahead.
Yes,
that you need for even if you pay $1, right? It's not paying 6 or 7 on the week of, or more than that, and risking something. So, look, we all have limited benches, and you've got injuries, and hopefully you got an IR spot, and there's a lot to come into focus. That even comes to mind when we're talking about these players that are getting dropped, like the Flaccos or these other guys, Kamani Vidal. look, you're playing to win the championship. If you need to let those guys go because you need to put a defense on the roster, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to overemphasize depth at the expense of my FAAB budget either. So it's a balancing act. We got a question here from Braxton. Instagram question. Temperature check on Drake London now that Kirk Cousins is at the helm. And I didn't hit the button, but we did get the final confirmation that season-ending surgery for Penix. He is done.
Yeah.
It's a partial ACL tear, which is bad. And Kirk Cousins is going to be at the helm. Drake London's going to miss some time with the PCL.
It sucks, man, because let me read you. Man, this is so sad. So Drake London was on fire.
Yeah.
With Michael Penix. I mean, you're talking about
what do you have, back-to-back number 1 finishes?
Yeah. Well, he had the number 7 finish, the number 1 finish, the number 1 finish, bad game at 46, the number 2 finish, the number 5 finish on the week. Those are like what Jamar Chase was doing last year.
Yeah, he's just catching touchdowns every week.
Now, let me read you Drake London's last 7 games with Kirk Cousins as the starter. Wide receiver 27, wide receiver 33, wide receiver 25, wide receiver 45, wide receiver 15, wide receiver 32, wide receiver 64.
I mean, that's almost worse than him just being hurt.
I mean,
because you play him, right? If he's healthy, you're playing him no matter what, with an expectation that Drake London is Drake London, not that Drake London is Parker Washington.
Right. Yeah. I mean, a wide receiver 27 game, a wide receiver 25, a wide receiver 15. Those games aren't going to hurt you at all. Those are going to be, hey, good. Drake London went out there,
but you're not going to win.
But you're not going to win a championship based on him. He needs to then be your double flex guy. You need to adjust expectations for sure.
Breaking news.
Well, Jason, your sleuthing came true.
Okay.
Wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. and Amari DiMarcado both officially out this week. Harrison recovering from the appendix surgery.
Yes.
It's an appendix surgery, an appendectomy.
There you go.
What is it called, Al?
You just said it, appendectomy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we've been talking about Michael Penix and appendixes.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of words that sound like that. Harrison's going to be out. Michael Wilson is a must-play.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it last week that the matchup is fine. It's not like they're playing the Bengals, but it's not like they're playing the Texans. So you're going to – and honestly, Greg Dortch can be started.
I think so. I think he could be an emergency flex play. Like if you had Dortch,
Parker Washington or Dortch in the same game, yeah.
If BTJ is out, I'll probably still go Parker. Cardinals defense is
funny. I was going to say if Will Johnson is still out, I'll go Parker.
There you go.
That's the cornerback for the
if this,
Arizona
then
Cardinals.
that.
Yeah.
But
pay attention to the rankings close to Sunday.
Yeah. There you go. Instagram question from Austin: does Alvin Kamara have any hope to start putting up better performances and help your team?
Absolutely, he does. I know Kamara has. He was on a bad stretch, and then he had the horrific games, 0.2 fantasy points. That was against the number 1 rush defense in the league in the Los Angeles Rams. That was the bad game. That was the first game of Tyler Shuck coming off and being like, okay, does he have it? I went and I watched the film and I was like, Shuck's fine. Shucks is actually, he didn't look as bad as what you think he was when they got blown out 10-34. The next game against Carolina, a game that Tyler Shuck and Alvin Kamara won, Kamara had 25 opportunities in the game. And so if you're getting that amount of work, they're on a bye week this week, but I think he's still got relevance left.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's
are they coming out of their bye this week?
Yeah, don't they play Atlanta?
Yeah, they play Atlanta this week, yeah.
Or as Kyle called them, an absolute skid mark of a team.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not going great for Atlanta right now.
You know what?
No
really
Drake London, no Michael Penix
for Kyle and us is that I feel like the Cardinals are Atlanta West, or Atlanta is the Cardinals East. Like they're both similar, where they got enough pieces where you have hope, oftentimes, You could see how it could go well. And then they show flashes where it's like, oh, maybe there is a good defense here. Oh, maybe there is a good offense here. There's not, ever.
So follow-up question then, maybe to close us out, Jay. The temperature check on Drake London, we walked through it.
Yeah.
What about your temperature check on Bijan?
Oh, it's going to hurt the overall fantasy finish of Bijan. First of all, he's not the goal line back, which he's not used at the goal line, but he's not the goal line back, where when you're talking about, there's no question if Derrick Henry's their goal line back, if Christian McCaffrey's their goal line back. There's no question if Jonathan Taylor is the goal line back. There's no, these top awesome fantasy assets. That's not Bijan. And now you say, okay, well, they're going to score fewer points. Yeah, I mean, I'd still say Bijan's a top 6 fantasy running back.
Would you rather have Jacobs with the injury concerns, or would you rather Bijan?
Without injury concerns, I would say I'd rather have Jacobs. But with the injury concerns, I'll take Bijan. Because Bijan, for all of his, maybe the luster of him finishing as the number 1 running back is gone, but he's also not going to finish as low as number 10. He's going to be a very good fantasy asset. And I've said this all year. I said this before the year because I knew it. He's indestructible this season. He cannot get injured. I've said it so many times. If I was going to curse him or jinx him, it would have happened already. So it's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Not this year. Indestructible.
Well, that's the mailbag. Right now, new users can get NFL Sunday Ticket for the rest of the 2025 regular season for only $48. Offer ends December 1st. New users only. Terms and embargoes apply. No refunds. Commercial use excluded. That'll do it. Tomorrow we'll get into the starts of the week. The Week 12 matchups begin, Jason. And it's go time. Let's win some Foot Clan titles. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.